Hi
Hello.
guys, can you hear us?
Please let us know if you can hear us so we know that everything is going good. No idea what's going on.
It's our first time, so be patient, please. Hello.
This is a good time to purchase pesos. Yes, if you have a Colombian bank account. Yeah, otherwise, I think it doesn't really make sense. Maybe rather invest in stocks or something that's pegged to the oil price. So that's probably better. How is the connection? Because the whole internet connection was a little bit up and down the last couple of days. So I tried to have a little test before, but yeah, let us know if it's more or less good. We will wait around 5 minutes till we start with the whole topics we have. We will first go through some tips, of course, the current situation, and then the live Q&A. How's it going in Envigado? Is it going good? Still people like where we live. It's not really too just very very quiet. How is it in Envigado?
Okay, looks like the connection is good. Thanks for letting us know. Let's wait.
Yeah. So what else? So
Good afternoon, Chad.
yeah. So again, for the ones, how many people are in 24? For the ones that just came in, we will talk about the current situation, then about a couple of tips how you should go about it with the current situation now, how you can proceed with your expat journey, what you can do right now, and what kind of options there are. Because yeah, the world is a little bit in a weird situation right now.
Yes.
Not everybody's affected the same way, but yeah, it kind of hit home yesterday once the whole curfew started. So we saw that it's not just something foreign. Usually you hear things like MERS or SARS from that's somewhere in Iran or China, and now it really affects our life here, which is kind of weird. It's something new.
So he said that in Envigado there are fewer people shopping today. It's not like yesterday. Well, yesterday, wow, it was insane. Like there were so many lines outside just to get into the store, and they wouldn't let people go in, like all of them at the same time. So they had to line up outside. I don't know if that really makes sense anyway, because you actually should have like a distance between each other, but they were all like close. So I don't know. But yeah, today here too, it's like kind of fewer people. It's a little bit easier going, so it's kind of calmer.
Somebody like Cali is quiet but fine. How are the shopping like the supermarkets in Cali? Are they also like, do they have a line? Because what I found, what's the difference right now, it's not really that the products are missing, it's just that a lot of people bulk shop a lot. So where we live, they're restricted now. I don't know if they really go through it with that, but they're restricted how many products one can get in the shopping cart. So I don't know if that's the same thing in Envigado and in Cali.
I think people as well, small group at a time in Cali too. Shelves are all fairly well stocked. Well,
Yeah. So that's good. I think it's good that one lives in an area that, like is the producer of groceries things. So the question maybe if we would be happy or if we would think that we would like to be in Switzerland right now. Not really. So this is our home anyway. We're gonna stay here as long as we can hold a visa. And I think it has also its advantages. Of course, in Switzerland there is no curfew still, even though it's in an area where there is more coronavirus going on. But I think for us, first of all, just of lifestyle questions or just questions where we feel home, and then secondly, I think it's good because here is a food producing country. So I think we're quite safe in the
hi
whole
Michael,
situation.
out of Bogota. So we got Bogota, Cali, Envigado. Where else? The United States. Oh,
Where is Michael? Where is he?
there he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from my point, I would say I don't want to be in Switzerland right now just because people like the people yesterday the curfew started here and they were singing on the balconies. Like
Yeah.
how can you start something like that like in a crisis like that as good as Colombians. Like they're always ready for partying, even though they're on the balcony, they were like singing and all that outside. So you kind of get like, I don't know, you can't be upset about the whole thing when you have so much happy people around you, right? In Switzerland, it's kind of the opposite. They're all upset and angry and all that. So I prefer to be here, to be honest.
All right. So I think we start with the whole thing. So first of all, for the people that are new here, we go about the news. So what's going on, then maybe tips how you can take advantage of the current difficult situation. How can you take advantage so you come out with something good? And then we have the live Q&A where you can ask questions. We will see. So the plan is more or less 30 minutes, but this is our first live chat, or let's see how long it will go. So what happened here in Colombia? So there were pretty much 3-4 steps they took. So first it was just you have to be cautious. Then the whole that the 70-year-old people or above cannot go out anymore. So they were put on the curfew, and that was just around 4 days ago. That was not too long ago.
No, yeah, I think
Then the whole mess started with that the Bogota. So how is it called? The mayor of Bogota. So the woman.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a mayor and mayor is woman and meant the same.
I think it's the same word. You
because
tell us.
In Spanish is alcaldesa and alcalde, which is different. But anyway, so the mayor of Bogota said that there will be a kind of a trial curfew, even though it was, as far as I knew, mandatory. And then the president said, no, you can't decide that just as a mayor. Then the mayor said, no, you can, which then somebody gave her right. And she said, we will keep the curfew. And then the president said, okay, we do the curfew trial. Then after that was resolved, the mayor in Medellin and other municipalities or districts or departments decided to join that too. And then after, I think, an hour or half an hour that the curfew took place, which was meant to be a kind of a trial curfew for 4 days, the president said after half an hour, an hour that was over, and the people were clapping and on the balcony, as Tasha said, then that now till I think the 13th, so 3 weeks from Tuesday on, so from Tuesday 3 weeks on, there will be a total curfew. The implications, I'm not sure about what exactly, if like what kind of shops will be closed. I know that the restaurants, pharmacies, they will stay open. This is still on the curfew, on the 4-day curfew, where now it's the same thing. So supermarkets are open. But I don't know if, let's say, the liquor.
Thanks for letting us know, John.
What?
It's mayor. It doesn't matter if it's male or female.
Like it's the same every cousin.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the whole story that's going on. So we are in the 4-day trial period of the curfew, and then the 3 weeks of curfew. So I don't know if which stores will be open or closed, but we'll keep you updated with the little videos we did, unedited, we did in the last couple of days. So that's going on. So what does that mean if you're inside of Colombia? So if you're inside of Colombia, you should probably not listen to us too much, but try to inform yourself in the community you are, what is allowed, what is not allowed, because even if you're in Medellin, maybe Envigado or Sabaneta or Bello, they have different kind of details that will be applied.
But use the official sites, because there are so many like misinformation out there and it's kind of confusing. So just use the official website, Facebook, Instagram, whatever of the government you're living in, wherever that is.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it. And one of the things in these kinds of times, I like if somebody sends me and you can see it, let's say on WhatsApp or an email or whatnot, if it's something that is, how you say, it's forwarded, I don't even open it up because I don't trust anything that comes in through WhatsApp. I like to hear what the people have to say to me, but not what people, like information other people send me. So that's, I think, a very good thing that you then look for the trustworthy sources. So what does it mean for inside? So inform yourself. What does it mean for outside? So if you're now outside of Colombia and you have expat plans, yeah, so surely the borders are closed. You cannot come in. As far as I know, you still can go out. So if you would decide to go out of Colombia, you can do that. We just saw that there's kind of an emergency plane taking people from Peru and Colombia back to Switzerland with the Swiss airline. So these things are still happening. So we won't be on that. We will sit and wait it out here in Colombia.
And just for the new people that just joined, we're going to have a Q&A afterwards because I saw already a lot of questions talking about health insurance and all that. We're going to get into that afterwards.
Yeah. So what can you do if you're outside? So you cannot come in, but what can you do? So that brings me kind of to the next tip. So first of all, I don't know if you have seen it. So the stock market quite plummeted. So the Dow Jones, S&P 500 are down, I think 25%. Who knows what will happen once it goes back up again on, I think, Tuesday. But anyway, that's down. But also the oil market is down. And the oil market affects heavily the Colombian pesos to US dollars exchange rate. So the Colombian pesos dropped another, I think, 10-15%. Even though it dropped in the last 2 years also around 20%. So it's quite down. So our rent was from, so when we started to rent, we paid around $320. This was around 1.5 years ago with the new place we're in. So it was $320 1.5 years ago. 2 months ago, it was around $300 because the Colombian pesos lost so much against the dollar, and now it's around $250. So it's crazy. So just around 20 to 30%. It's even less the cost of living that it was probably a year ago and almost 2 months ago too. So I think it's even more now the advantage to try to figure out if Colombia could be something for you, especially compared to US dollar based countries like Ecuador or Panama, where now, the Colombian, the whole lifestyle got just 20 to 30% even less expensive than it was a year before. So, what do you think? What should one do to start now their journey? What should one do?
Well, learning Spanish. Surely one of the things you should really try. I know it's not easy. It's another language and it's really not easy. We're still on it, right? But learning Spanish, if you're moving to a Spanish speaking country, is essential. I would look into the culture differences so you don't have such a big culture shock when coming here. Like being patient, for example, is a big one. I'm still getting used to that. And what else?
I read the comments. I can.
What else besides getting into the culture, Spanish?
Yeah, the thing is, we said it all already in the last couple of videos before. Just do your research now. So maybe if you're in home office or if you're in quarantine or anything like that, figure out if you can get a visa in the country. Figure out if you can afford it. Figure out about the health insurance. We saw that in the comments. A couple of people have questions, so we'll surely address that. And do your research with that. Try to find as many trustworthy sources you can, not just people trying to sell you something. I think that's very, very important, especially if you're in the realm of, let's say, real estate people. They usually try to get tips to sell their apartments and not really to kind of help you out. So be aware that you find the right resources and try to find many resources, not just us, to find out if Colombia is the right place for you or which country in Latin America in general. So that's one thing you can surely do right now. Then another thing is, once you have done that, what about health insurance? What about visa? What about cost of living? Then you're pretty much set for, and taxes, that's the fourth thing. What about taxes? If you answer the question to those 4 questions, you're pretty much set to visit Colombia once the borders are open again. We got a couple of questions to do we know, or are there some rumors out there when the borders will be open again? So the whole thing was, as far as I know, it's for 30 days, but who knows what the world will look like in 30 days anyway. So I wouldn't plan anything right now to travel, even though we're pretty much affected by that too, because we had to cancel all the services we had. We lost quite a bunch of money through that. or because of that. And yeah, but still, even though I'm in the business, or we're in the business of trying to bring people, let's say, to Colombia, I would not plan anything at the moment. I think at the moment it's way more important to try to go through that crisis financially and physically and mentally safe or sane, instead of now trying to rush into any decisions to live abroad. I think. Again, research, yes, I would definitely do that, because now is the time.
To answer John Shearer's question, the apps that you can use to learn Spanish are Duolingo, that's for free. Well, they have the premium package, but you can start for free, for example. And it's just like basic Spanish. And the other thing would be Rocket Spanish. That's, I don't remember actually how much we paid for that, maybe $100 or more. But it was amazing, because you have like, it's more on the conversational Spanish, and I would recommend that. So if you have a little bit of the basics down, I would recommend Rocket Spanish. That's what we used at least.
Yeah, and Baselang was mentioned here too. Baselang is also surely a good option too. Yeah, that's other options too. So what you can do, especially if you want to support some Colombians that are here, and yeah, if they most probably don't have work anymore, especially Spanish tutors, you can find some of the Spanish tutors on How to Medellin on the website. I just posted now, and book. I don't know if they can see me. And book some one-to-one lessons with them. It's very, very inexpensive. I think it's around $12 an hour or something like that, and you learn the Colombian Spanish, which can be helpful if you plan to come here. And yeah, you can support somebody here that has no work anymore, because all the foreigners left that wanted to learn Spanish. So yeah, did you see any questions?
Well, the Spanish I can cancel. Not questions, but chat. He's in Cali, and he's from the States, and he said that his flight got canceled till May 1st. So I think that's maybe important for some of the people that ask if they can go out of the country. Well, if your flight is canceled, I guess you can't go out of the country. But that's actually good to know. So thanks for sharing, Chad.
Yeah, for that. I think another thing is, if you're now worried about your financial situation back home, first of all, because you think maybe Social Security doesn't get paid out anymore, or they will cut that, or if you lost your job, or if you're about to lose it, or if you find yourself in kind of a hard financial situation, I think Colombia could be a very, very good place to now look at, because as I said, the cost of living is now even lower than it was when, around a year ago. And quite substantially lower, the 30% I talked about. And you can use the time, let's say, after the whole thing was settled with the travel bans and stuff, to use it as your Latin America or your world trip, Latin America trip lifestyle. Because after, let's say, the whole coronavirus will be over, there will surely be a situation or a time period where the economy won't be as good anymore. So if you have saved up some time, and you were looking the last couple of years of traveling Latin America, then maybe do it after the whole thing, the coronavirus, is over, because things will be inexpensive, and getting work will be harder anyway. So you can kind of sit out till the economy goes good again, and then use your time in Latin America to figure out, or to find, or to learn Spanish, to figure out what you want to do. And you spend less amount of money here than back in your home country, so you can sit out more months with the savings you have. So I think that could be a good idea too. But yeah, of course, just after the travel ban has been lifted.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that the ones that just commented that they can't get into Colombia. Yes, that's right. Going out is another thing than coming in.
Yeah.
So he did a video, I think on Monday it was, or Sunday even, where the government declared that no one can come in unless you're Colombian or have residency, right? So if you're not and just coming with a tourist visa, you're not able to. So all of them that their flights were canceled or anything like that, that's why. And next week, actually, I think after, like beginning Tuesday, no one can enter the country
Yeah.
at all. Not even Colombian citizens. Even though you have residency, it doesn't matter. No one can get into the to Colombia,
country, yeah.
to the country. Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I'm not quite sure about that fact actually, but I think you have to stay then, no matter where you're coming in from, 14 days in quarantine también.
Also,
Um,
Spanglish.
yeah, like what you guys don't see on the videos because we can edit it. I'm so bad at switching languages. I just talked a little bit with my neighbor through the balcony with social distancing.
Because he lives now on the balcony.
Yeah, exactly. In Spanish, and I have so, like, let's say even the videos I do, we speak in Swiss German, and then I will do a video. I have such a hard time switching languages. Once I'm in the language, let's say 20 minutes, I'm good. But yeah, it's switching all the languages up is kind of a hassle. Yeah, thanks to all the people I saw in the comments saying you like our videos and stuff. Not just not to forget about them. Yeah, think about the Q&A. I think we can start.
Well,
there.
they're already starting there, so maybe you should start with Utah because you asked about the insurance, right? So what's the special case? What do you want to know, like specifically?
Let's see. I'm 63 and qualify. She qualifies. So if you're 63, I would guess that your mother is probably in
She
their
said something like 90s.
90s, yeah, because, or yeah, at least 80. So the thing is, so now it gets a little complicated. Colombia, I just talked yesterday, we had a nice call with a sixth grader that used our, or that we had a little consultation with for her, she called it passion project. And she asked us a similar question, not a similar question about insurance, but I replied with a similar thing that in Colombia, we don't really have, let's say,
95.
What, 95? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
not easy.
It's 4 times older than we are. Crazy. Anyway, so in Colombia, it's not really, you can pursue step A, B, C, and then it will be done. It's sometimes A and B and C, sometimes it's A and C, and sometimes it's Apple or something. Like, it doesn't make sense at time.
Yeah.
It's the same with insurance. So you technically can get health insurance in Colombia no matter what age, because it's, I don't know how exactly it's called, but it's a social-based system. So it's not privatized, it's not under, let's say, mostly capitalistic approach, but it's more, let's say, a social approach. Whereas no matter what age you are, if you are able to get insurance, you get in no matter what age you have for public insurance. But what we found, how it applies to reality, and that's always the thing you cannot really read on blogs or find out in videos, that sometimes if you're older, they won't give you insurance for one reason or another. Not because they, like, it would be legal to not give you the insurance, but just they won't do it because you're too old. So we had some cases where they just got rejected with the insurance, even though, like, technically from a Colombian government standpoint, they can't. So how can you get public insurance? As I said, no matter what age you can get it, technically, or yeah, but not really practically, as we found out with some of our clients. But you have to have a cedula, so which means you have to have a visa. So the cedula is the ID card of Colombia, and to get that you need the visa. So first, step 1 is getting a visa. Step 2 is getting public health insurance. What a lot of people say and get confused by is they read or hear somewhere that people say it's just around 60 or 62 you can get health insurance. That's true, but only for private insurance. So that's the other thing. So there is the public system and the private system. The public system you can get in as soon as you have a visa, and no matter what age, pre-existing condition, no matter what. As I said, technically, not so much practically. And then the private insurance you can get in until 60. So I think Carton Travels Adventures, he did a video where he turned 60 now, and he had to pay a lot of, or a very higher insurance cost just because he turned 60. He did a good video about that. So that's the thing. And private insurance you could technically get just with a passport. So, but yeah, it depends your age and pre-existing conditions.
So a good question was, someone asked what happens if I'm overstaying the 180 days because of the lockdown. So what do you think?
Sorry, I just read the comments. You want to answer your own question?
No, I asked you, what do you think, what happens after overstaying 180 days after the lockdown?
So, well, yeah. So the thing now, technically, there's they call it salvoconducto or something like that, where you would need to tell the immigration office that you have been staying in Colombia longer than 180 days, or that you are, that you're planning to do. Of course, from the previous experiences with people we know that just did it after they overstayed their 180 days. Maybe, of course, now that's a little bit different topic because maybe you cannot go out. So what I would do is contact our lawyer, Ellen Gongora, ask him this exact same question because, yeah, he's on top of those things. He does it daily, whereas we get maybe an update from him or other people weekly. So he will, surely do. I'll post the email of him here.
I already know it.
Yes, and so many times. So you can contact him, Alan Gongora, and he's up to speed with all the things that's going on. And yeah, if you overstayed even in the past, you have to contact immigration, and you do it through the lawyer usually, and then you have a fine. It's usually not too much. I think it's around $1 a day or something. And then you pay the fine and you go out. And usually it has no further implications, even if you have a visa planned or something.
Jeff, I know you were supposed to be here. I'm so sorry that happened. If you're scared, actually not really. We just don't know what to expect, but we have food, we're healthy, so not scared really, to be honest. And Chad asked how long it took to get a visa. Well, for us it was pretty fast, but now everything can change, right? So what we're gonna tell you now can be totally like the opposite when it comes for you to apply for it. So we have a 3 years visa, so we just have to apply every 3 years. How long it took? Like, I think maybe 2 weeks, like the fastest. That, like retirement visas, for example, just take 2 weeks, and other visas can take maybe up to a month. But I think that's pretty okay.
Yeah. What we heard from other countries like Ecuador, or especially Panama, it takes a long time to get the visa. But here in Colombia, not so much. We were a little scared that the visa process will be requires more paperwork because they had a law in place that they had to go through government and stuff to accept or to decline. I read through the whole document, the Spanish document about the proposed law, which was maybe going to have a background check, criminal background check in their home country. So we were a little bit scared that that will, create some chaos for the first couple of people that want to apply with the new visa rules. But I think now Colombia has way other problems than the new visa law that it's trying to pass. So absolutely. I think for the foreseeable future, that will not change at the moment. So it will stay easygoing.
So Phil, you asked about getting a small apartment. So getting an apartment, wow. Well, let's just say that's a whole other story and it takes way too long to go into detail about it. But let's just say to get an unfurnished apartment is a real hassle. And if you come down here and just get started and still want to know which neighborhood fits your needs best and all that, I would recommend to use Airbnb and short-term stays. And you can still negotiate the prices when you use the Airbnb host and get a long-term stay. But unfurnished is just all the co-signer thing, the deposit, which is official illegal and all that. It's a hassle. So I would start furnished if you can. And if you want to find it unfurnished and you want more info about it, we have a lot of videos about that, and you can always contact us.
Then I read, I think, two kind of questions that go in the same direction. How long does a visa or your visa last? And somewhere somebody else says, why are we not getting Colombian citizenship? So I think just a little bit about the process, how to get a visa and citizenship. So there are many different types of visas. So retirement visa, something they call it a Dista visa, which is kind of an investment visa, a business investor's visa, real estate visa, different types. And with that, you get different types. So they're in three categories. So they're visitor, migrant, and resident. Visitor is usually the just kind of a little bit better than a tourist stamp or a tourist visa. So we will leave that out. It's usually, let's say, something you study, or most people find it with studying Spanish. They get a 1-year visitor visa. That's it. But the migrant visa, that's the one we have. That's at the moment is valid for 3 years, and you can renew it indefinitely. So or infinitively, something like that. So just without any.
You know what he means.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 years. After the second time, so 3 years, another 3 years, you stayed consecutively in Colombia for 6 years. And then you can apply for the R-type resident visa, which is at the moment valid for 5 years. So you would have 3 years, and then another 5 years, which will sum up to 11 years. And after 10 years, you can apply for citizenship. You're in Colombia for now around 2 years, a little bit more. With the visa even less. So with the visa around 2 years. So we would have to wait another 8 years to be able to think about getting citizenship or not. But I think, that's who knows how the world will look like in 8 years. We're surely not planning to leave anywhere soon, or so. I don't know. But after that, I think I could see ourselves getting to the citizenship test and doing the whole thing. Another thing I have to look out for is the whole military service contribution thing. So I heard that you have to pay some contribution thing if you're a male and didn't serve in the military, which I didn't. So maybe I had to pay something. Depending on that amount, it would make sense or no. So that's pretty much it. The whole journey is a little bit accelerated if you have a marriage visa. Then you can apply for the resident visa, I think, in 2 years. And then after 5 years, you can apply for citizenship, something like that.
Does Colombia accept dual citizenship?
Yes.
It does.
As far as I know, yes.
Yes, they do. Someone asked about hoarding. Who was that?
That's a good question too.
Someone up there. Sorry, it was too fast. But anyway, hoarding. Chat said in Cali they don't. Well, they do toilet paper is, I think, a worldwide thing. Like, I still don't understand it. I still don't get it. But yes, toilet paper is now an item that is hard to get. Other things like sanitizers, the masks. I've never seen a store with masks. I think they're all out of stock by now. What else? Oh, chicken breast. I couldn't find chicken breast. I could find beef, I could find pork, but no chicken breast. I don't know why. I think it's like a toilet paper thing. Like, we just don't understand it. Other things, no. Like. Okay.
Yeah. The other questions. Another question is also with the migrant visa, how many consecutive months do you have to stay in the country? So with the migrant visa, you have to be in the country every 6 months, 1 day. So kind of 2 days minimum per year. So 6 months, 1 day somewhere in the 6 months, and then in another 6 months somewhere in the 6 months. So it's quite easy going there.
Steven, toilet paper is the new global currency. So agree.
That's why they're hoarding it.
Yeah, that's why they're hoarding it.
No,
Bobby,
eggs
how about eggs? The store I've been today, they didn't have eggs actually, but it was a small one. We haven't had the time to go to a big one, so I can't really answer that. But a few days ago, they did have eggs, so yeah, let's see next week.
Then Gerard and T Perks, they talked about the lawyer. It's important to get a good lawyer. I don't know how to spell that name, but anyway, yes, we say the same thing. So the cost of getting a lawyer and the total cost of relocation is just a tiny amount of it. It's around $200 service fee. So yeah, why go through the hassle and doing it yourself? So get a lawyer, and then things will work out. Especially buying an apartment, try to get a lawyer that is not involved with the agent. That's really important. And then yeah, get a good lawyer to help you out with the whole process, and you're going to be safe. We heard some stories of people getting ripped off and lost a lot of money.
So what else do we have here? Recommend lawyer. We had that. 2 questions.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. I thought I would drink beer and soda. Interesting combination. Beer and soda.
Yeah, there is something called, I don't know if you have it in the US, beer and Coca-Cola is called diesel in Europe.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you don't drink beer.
Yeah, I don't. Any blackouts? Yeah. Well, not where we live, but in some other neighborhoods we have heard of them. But like, I think it doesn't have anything to do with the virus, but just because that's normal sometimes.
Um,
When they come back.
99% of Colombians speak Swiss. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Somebody asked a good question. Thanks for comment. Oh, cost of living. Yeah, cost of living. So I just did a whole accounting around 2 months ago, what we spend right now, more or less, because yeah, I'm the Swiss guy. I have to do accounting, right? I don't know. That's just me. And we spent an incredible amount of pure cost of living. So cost of living that, let's say, international living defines. So accommodation, health insurance, all these. So no pension included, no safety included, no nothing. So just bare bones cost of living. We spend an incredible $1,200 per month for the both of us. So $600 per person. We only can do that because we don't really live in a touristy area. We cut out all of the unnecessary spending we had in our home countries. And we live quite frugally. With most expat clients, we find they spend around $2,000 to $2,500 as a couple, or $1,500 to $2,000 as a single expat. Maybe if you're an expat and watching that right now, let us know in the comments how much you spend, if you're living in Colombia right now, how much you spend per month. So yeah, people can see.
I'm told people won't buy Corona beer right now in Colombia. Well, I don't know.
I just heard that
if that's true.
I heard that the turnover, they had a reduction of turnover of, I think, 30%, but they say it's not because of the coronavirus. So who knows?
I think no one is ready for disaster, to be honest. Captain Lou. I'll keep that in mind. Cross. What else was there? There was another one.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Will my visa expire because I can't return in time due to coronavirus? Of course, nobody knows at the moment. So I just helped somebody today to extend the tourist visa, and we have no idea if it will go through or not. I think the Colombian government will most probably be very, very easygoing with all of those things. But that's just my opinion. That's not a fact. That's nothing we can even know now. So because the economy will have a hard impact right now everywhere in the world, and also in Colombia. So a lot of Colombians can't work for 3 weeks anymore because of the shutdown. So I think they're happy to get all the economy activities going as much as they can, and that will mean having foreigners in their country spending and doing business in their country instead of their home country. So I think it will be very, very easygoing. So I wouldn't worry about too much if you can come in and then your visa will be revoked, because you kind of have a very good reason why that is, and I think they will be happy to have you here being in their economy.
One question you can ask, maybe answer is the one from ENC Cubed about the Airbnb. About Captain Lou, if you should take your iPhone out when walking in the barrio, I wouldn't recommend it.
Not in the barrio
at all, especially in the barrios, because most people here, they don't own an iPhone. They have like smartphones, yes they do, but the cheap ones. So if they see an iPhone, well, don't take it out.
Yeah, but the ENC Cube, that's a very good question, actually.
Yes, it is.
For the ease of all the things, I would say that it's most probably try to prolong, to extend the Airbnb stay with your Airbnb owner, either through Airbnb or maybe directly with a contract with that person. But there you have to be a little bit careful. What are the conditions of the contract, especially regarding the deposit? But that's actually a very, very good question. Another thing you could do is just book another Airbnb and pretend that you go to the supermarket, or maybe don't even pretend, but just go out and change the apartment. I don't think it's going to be too big of a hassle. The other thing also is, especially let's say the metro and all of those things are working too. I think as far as I know, you can book some transport service also. So even if it's not in the same neighborhood and you could walk there, that you are able to get there if you book a new Airbnb. And then, just explain the police officers if they would stop you and ask you where you're going in this situation. I think that's it. And if not, just have, I don't know, some kind of shopping bag with you and say that you're shopping. Maybe not so much if you take the metro, because who goes with the metro to go shopping?
You never know.
Yeah.
There was a question before it that we forgot to answer. And someone asked what will happen to the people that don't have a lot of income or don't have any income by now, like poverty and all that. Well, what's going to happen? Nobody knows, right? But as far as we heard, like government is postponing like taxes. They're helping with the bills for water, electricity, and all that. And also I heard of donations for people for food and all that. So far, they're working on it, but you never know, like long term, how that can affect the people and the country.
Yeah, so I think in our community, we're listening, we're connected with the people, and as soon as they have some kind of, I don't know, help service or something like that, we will get involved there too. We would also let you, the community, know if you can help something with donations. We wanted to start something volunteer kind of type of thing anyway. With a partner that we have here. It's called Prime Community. But that's now pretty much on hold because we cannot really go there because we cannot travel there to have meetings. But if we have some updates, we'll surely keep you updated, even if you also want to help.
Phil Blackman, 30 days at least for now to come into Colombia. Like the borders are closed at least 30 days, but that can be extended. So we really don't know. It's just like so hard to tell you some facts because nobody does. Should I prepare for the Maduro diet? Yes, do it.
What the hell is a Maduro diet?
I guess the banana diet is something, because Maduro is like the right banana, the plantain.
But it's a known diet.
Is it one Maduro a day or how much is it? No idea. Yes, we work from home mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
Yes, we have Pinto Guarne.
Everything in order.
Well, Guarne is a little bit outside of Medellin, and it's more rural, more traditional, I would say. So it's a little bit less developed, but still nice. So if that's what you're looking for, try it out.
So make sure to use the time now to learn Spanish if you're planning to go to Guarne.
No English speaking there. I just heard that we can only go on Tuesday. What?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just heard that we can only go out on Tuesdays. No, that's not true. You can, what?
Yeah, check. As far as we know, it's not true. Who knows, like, what happened, but try,
Unless there's an update or something.
Exactly, yeah.
But now, no, like right now, you can go out for groceries, emergencies, go to the pharmacy, walk your dog for 20 minutes a day. That's all no problem. But Like we walked Coco today, and we went together, and the police stopped us and said there's just one person allowed to walk the dog. So I went to grocery shopping while he was walking the dog, right? So that's the thing that they told us. But so far, no, it shouldn't be only on Tuesdays.
What else? Living as an expat. Oh, here, yeah. That's good. I spend about 1.2 million pesos a month, but due to myself, are not usual. I say 1.5. So Flink McWinter, he lives in El Carmen up in the Rio Negro area. So the 1.5 million includes accommodation, or did you buy your apartment? That would interest me.
Do you have advice for future expats seeking work from home jobs? Any leads or websites you suggested? To live abroad and work from home. Well, English teaching is always a good thing. You don't get a visa teaching English, but at least like you can get an income. And what else?
We have a friend that does customer support for a company. What kind of company is it? Some tech, yeah, something
stuff.
like that, where he has a kind of a chat interface and help. I think he earns around $5 or $6 an hour. So I don't know how you could get something like that, but maybe you could Google something like customer service remote job or something like that. If you can sustain yourself for $5 an hour with the cost of living here, and yeah, getting a visa will then be very, very hard. So you would have to do, let's say, 6 months here and 6 months in Panama or Mexico or something like that. But yeah, that's surely a good option. And then, yeah, as Sasha said, English teaching is always kind of the choker people have in their hand.
John Joseph, as far as I know, there are options to donate for kids and homeless, but I honestly don't know who's doing such thing right now. Like I would look in government websites, stuff like that, so you know if it's official and no one taking advantage of the situation, right? But I'm sure there are, but I have no idea who's doing it right now. Oh, you're busy, guys.
A beef bouillon. What is that? Here in Laura, is that something to eat?
What is it?
A beef bouillon. Oh, that's French.
Yeah, that's bouillon.
Bouillon.
Can I buy any idea where I can buy beef? Oh, no idea.
Probably
maybe Carulla.
Yeah, Carulla.
Because Carulla has a lot of like imported stuff, so I would try it there.
Are there bailouts or welfare in Colombia like the USA? I think I just heard before we started the live chat that they will have some kind of things going on, financial help with I don't know what, but till now I don't know anything about that.
Anthony Rogers, yes, there are many dialects here in Colombia. So depending on where you want to stay, like relocate to, like if it's Medellin or Bogota, there's already a little bit of a different dialect. So I would kind of learn the Colombian dialect if you have the chance to, because Spanish, like from Spain dialect, is totally different.
And can you talk about the different dialects in Colombia?
Well, there are many. Well, at the coast, for example, it's fast and it's like they're more making sounds than actually talking, in my opinion, especially taxi drivers. So it's just like they're lacking the S. They're just like really fast. And if you're just new to learning, like to speaking Spanish, it's hard to understand them. But in general, Colombia, they say that they have the most clearest kind of Spanish. So it's better to understand compared to Argentina, Chile and all that. So in Bogota, they have more like a question mark after every sentence, like at the end. And the Paisas are like really, they have a colorful language. So they use a lot of different kind of words you've never heard and words you maybe don't even use in English. So yeah, and so it's not only Spanish when you come to Medellin, it's Paisa. So that's like apart from Spanish kind of, there are a lot of other words and stuff.
So how much can you earn? Connor Beacon asked in Medellin. So in Medellin on the ground, I think usually $800 to $1,000, which is, yeah, if you can share your apartment with somebody, it's enough to get by. Otherwise, not. Some people make 1,200, but online, yeah, 1,200, 1,500 to up to $2,000 a month is in. Then somebody asked, is there any charity in Medellin that one can donate
That's
that
the one
helps?
I said before.
You said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That we don't know.
No, you can, if you're interested, send us an email at contact@how2expats or how-2-expat.com. We can direct you in the right direction. And the best ATM with the least breaks, so get a Charles Schwab card, so Charles Schwab, or Capital One card, and then you don't have to worry about transfer fees if you're from the US.
Colombian hot chocolate is a wonderful comfort drink that will get you through this. Well, but just with cheese, otherwise it's not Colombian. The food choices and people are wonderful. Yes, they are.
Thanks, Anthony.
What else? So the last 3 questions, I would say.
Yeah, so we're almost, the time flew.
Yes. Any more important questions you want to get off your chest so far?
5 minutes.
Yeah. No politics, guys. Oh, man. But they've been doing good so far. I'm proud of you guys. Thanks. So what else do we have? How many pesos?
Russian. All right.
Funny. Can you be a vegetarian? I will be touched things happening to Copa America.
Yeah, ATM limit. Yeah, that's right. 900,000 pesos. I think in Da Vivienda. That's good.
Yes. Buenas tardes de Portugal, California. Me gustan sus videos. Muchas gracias.
How handicap accessible is Colombia? We had clients that were blind. Actually, I have no idea how they made it. I would say so. So it's surely better than, let's say, what we've seen in Ecuador or what you will most probably have in Panama, especially here in Medellin and Bogota. But surely, I don't know, in the US it should be quite okay because it's a car country, but surely not as good like in Switzerland and Germany, and things are very, very accessible. But here it's so one could do it.
Okay. One last question. Is it true that Colombians in their 20s don't want serious relationships anymore? At least here in Medellin, they all just seem to want to party. Well,
Depends.
that's hard to answer because Medellin is big, right? So I wouldn't say, maybe that's, well, I think we can't really tell you if that's true or not. Like,
no, depends on with who you're asking, right?
Absolutely, because some of them already have kids and family. Others, they want to study. It really depends.
All right, let's go through. Let's try to go through it. How would you say start a small company in Colombia?
How hard?
Hard. It's not very hard. It's not easy. It's hard. I think that's.
And expensive.
Yeah, that's probably the fastest. Why can people over 60 get private? Why can't people get over 60 get private insurance in Colombia? That's just a business decision of the insurance companies. Top 3 topics for new expats. Don't relocate to a place you've not traveled before. Do your research. What else?
Learn Spanish.
Learn Spanish.
As always, learn Spanish. Like, we're serious.
What's the most economic way for a family to send US dollars to Colombia? So I would think that it comes from the US to Colombia. Use something that is called Zoom. It's from PayPal or World Remit. So ZOOM, Zoom or World Remit. English.
Do you think it's a good idea to travel to Colombia, I guess you mean?
No,
you can't anyway, so no.
My country, South Korea. She's a South Korean fan.
안녕하세요. So what else do we have?
What is the average wage for a Colombian? Depends.
Yeah.
$300 in the countryside, $600 in the city, around $1,000 for an English speaker per month.
Can you send money through Rappi to Colombia?
Don't know.
I think you have to be in the country in order to do so. Well, you can send money around in Colombia, but I don't think you can do it from abroad.
So you can pay utilities online. Colombia is very advanced, actually. You can pay most things online. Again, how difficult is to start a small company? It's hard, not very hard, not easy, but hard.
My wife. I need to learn more Spanish quickly. Yes, you do, Phil. Now you have time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there are tons of gyms. Every street corner you get a gym. Also nice ones like comparable to Planet Fitness or something like that.
I guess you have to come to Greenland then if you don't have the virus there. We look into that. Exchange rates, grab it.
Grab it. Or Zoom. Or sorry. I think Zoom.
Casi las 2 de la tarde.
All right. I think that's pretty much it for this live chat. I really enjoy the time. It's kind of a fun thing.
It's a great conversation with you guys.
So if you have any other questions, just shoot them through via email. We will answer them for free. So yeah, just shoot them through there. Contact at How to Expat. Let me check if I can. I don't know if I can do that.
Contact at How to Expat?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and wish you all the best in these weird times we're in. So for us, it was also new that we cannot go out, even if we wanted to, which is kind of a weird thing. Yeah, but wish you all the best. Wash your hands, social distancing,
Stay
you know the
safe.
things. If you're in Colombia, yeah, be informed with the right sources, what you have to do, and what's the current situation is. Try to reach out to your community if you can help, because there are a lot of Colombians that were living day by day and they have no income anymore.
Not only Colombians, but all over the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are, just try to help if you can.
Exactly. Yeah, reach out to your community, and yeah, hope to see you guys. Maybe we'll do a new live chat after, maybe next week or something like that.
I will, Bobby. Sam, Coco says hi too.
Oh, yeah.
Where is he? Oh,
Okay.
he's gonna say hi too.
He hates when we pick him up, but he has to.
Oh,
He has to work too.
he needs to say bye too, right? Yeah, you are so happy. Hi there and bye there. So stay safe, guys.
Yeah.
See you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.